Hello again to lesson number 2 in the section about interviews, which is the last section of this course. All right, so you come prepared to the interview with your notes and your solutions, problems, all the information, all the research that you've done. You've come prepared. So we're gonna talk about two main things in this video. The first one is technical things, things that should go without saying, but we have to mention them anyway. And here's the reason why I'm going to talk to you about where to sit and how to set up make a good setup when you're doing an interview is because I've gone through a lot of hiring rounds when I was hiring for my company, and we always do hiring rounds every few months. I end up going to meeting people who have no idea how to actually just sit in a place that's a little bit quiet and set up a good, well-lit area, and they don't actually have to have amazing equipment, just a computer with the built-in microphone or just a headphone, and just conduct a good interview. They could just sit under the window and be well lit and have good audio, and that's it. I mean, you don't really ask for much for these remote interviews, but there's a few people out there who don't really know. So this is just for the sake of kind of like just making sure that you know how to be ready for the interview. All right, so first things is obviously to sit in a well-lit area. You could just, if you have a window, you can sit right under it, facing the window so that you get those light in your face. If you don't have, you could just put pretty much just a light bulb close to you so you can have enough light. That's going to help with the webcam to make sure your face is actually clear. And this is something that's really easy to do. The second thing is you have to clear out your background. So the more stuff and the more things you have behind you, the more distracted the people. They're not going to be paying attention to you. They're just going to be looking around. It's good to like have like books behind you, or have a few interesting items to look at. Maybe just a wall, but just to be safe, just a wall, plain white, just like I have behind me right here. And I'm just sitting on a couch, and I'm doing my thing, like recording this video. But yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be too complicated. The other thing is, make sure your microphone and camera work well before the call. You have to do a few tests, and make sure the video works. You can just open up Zoom, download Zoom on your computer, and just open it up and do a test run, or Google Meet, or whatever the software is that you have, or even Skype. All these softwares can allow you to kind of adjust what webcam to use and what microphone to use if you plug in a headset. So make sure you do that, because again, you don't want to waste people's time, especially if you don't have your things in order. And believe me, we've had our fair share of failures. Sometimes we wasted more than 10 minutes just waiting for the other person to be ready, because they've had all these issues with like audio and video. And you know what I'm talking about if you've been on a Zoom call. The last thing, and it's also extremely important, again, is you want your internet connection to work. You should have a backup plan, and that's the best way to kind of like avoid any issues. Is you might be using your phone, or you might be using your home internet connection, in which case, if it goes out, and it actually does happen a lot, you might want to have your phone ready right there. And that's actually a problem that's, you don't really blame people for having bad internet, but it's good to be prepared and to show that, okay, yeah, my internet went out, but at least I have a phone. I'm going to set it up as a hotspot and connect my computer to it, so I can at least go through the rest of the interview without any issues. So yeah, just be prepared, have a backup plan, have your phone right next to you, make sure it has good signal, and you should be fine without any issues like that. So this is the first part, just making sure all the technical things, all the logistics are well in order. All right, so in the last video, we might not have talked too much about examples of kind of what the problems you want to solve. So the first example, we have two. For example, is of a person who's a graphic designer. We have a lady who's a graphic designer with a hint of CRO. She has a little bit of experience in the conversion rate optimization, and I've been mentioning conversion rate optimization here a lot. because it's a really, really interesting kind of field of work. So this lady, what she did during the interview, she went in for an interview for, a graphic designer, and she did a lot of research before. She went in and did a lot of research on the website. So she went to the website, the company's website, and saw a lot of errors. So these people have an e-commerce site. She went and saw that the speed of the website, which is very generic, but the speed of the website is very slow. So she put that down as a problem that needs to be fixed. She noticed that a lot of images are not really well optimized for mobile. So she knows this because she has a little bit of experience. Like some images look blurry on mobile, but on desktop they look good. And if you're on an iPad or a tablet, the images don't really look really well. So she put that down again as another issue that needs to be fixed. And she kept adding and adding and adding, and like this SSL of the website was not working, so she added that as a problem. So she kind of listed down, I think, more than 6 or 7 errors that she noticed on the site, and the effect that these errors have on this, the errors that these errors have on the performance of this site, because it's an e-commerce website. It has to be really well built, really well designed. It shouldn't have any errors, because any errors you have, they're going to affect your bottom line, and the store is not going to be selling as much if it has all these issues. So she mentioned that, okay, she has a lot of experience in this field, and she can actually fix all these issues. And by just fixing those, she said that, from my experience, I know that you're gonna get a much better, conversion rate. You're gonna be selling it more just by fixing these on-site issues. And that's a problem that, when she came prepared and she showed all the research that she's done, the people who were, hiring her, they were really, or interviewing her, they were really impressed, and she ended up getting the job. Just because, again, she just went out of her way to do a little bit more research before the interview. So the second one is of a content writer who was hired to write content for a content marketing company. They just do content. They just write articles. So you might ask yourself, well, how do you set yourself apart from maybe this company has hundreds of content writers? How do you set yourself apart other than just being able to write well? Well, she did so much work and research before the interview that she blew away the company that was interviewing her. Here's what she did. She went out and did a lot of research about the company on all the review sites, review sites like G2 and Trustpilot, and kind of like Yelp, but for businesses. Internet businesses. So she noticed that there's a lot of negative reviews on sites like G2 and Trustpilot. She saw that these people, she noticed that these people were, as we say, having really bad reviews. So she kept digging and digging and digging, and she noticed that one common thing between all of these reviews is that the quality was good of the writing, but the delivery was really, really slow. So she sat down and told them, okay, so here's what I noticed when I was doing my research on you. I noticed that a lot of people complain about how slow the delivery is. So the committee was really impressed by the fact that she took the time to research that, and she went on and actually suggest a solution. So here's what she did. The solution that she actually suggested. She said, look, I've done this before. I've been a freelance writer. I've never been working full time in a company, but I've done it I work directly with clients. So here's what I always did. I always hired an extra person to proofread for me. So here's what you guys could do to improve this and eventually improve the ratings and reviews on these websites, because those bad reviews are gonna steer people away from you, and they're not gonna come and buy from you anymore and get your content from you. So she said that in order to fix this problem, you can hire proofreaders. You don't actually have to hire a lot of proofreaders, maybe 10, maybe 20, and they can work. They won't be too expensive, and they're gonna help reduce the delivery time. So when a writer when a writer kind of finishes their writing, they're gonna shoot it up to the proofreader. The proofreader has a timer on in front of them. They're gonna proofread the article, and then they're just gonna send it off to be published or send it off to the client. And she also suggested put in a hard deadline for every writer, and then the proofreader is going to help, even if the work might not be as well. The proofreader is going to improve the quality of the article. So she went into so many specifics and so many details that those people might have thought of. I mean, it's not really impressive to think of those things. They might have thought of them. But just the fact that she did all of this research and preparation and suggesting even like solutions to problems, they were impressed, and they liked the fact that she did that. She went the extra mile during the interview. I mean, she wasn't even paid to do this research, so she ended up getting the job. So these are two examples of problems that you can help solve, and I hope these two were clear enough. And again, it's all about the preparation. It's all about the customization. It's all about being prepared and talking about specifics and how to, again, it's a generic advice, like solving problems. But again, when you kind of think of it in your industry, in your expertise, you can always find problems. And everybody has problems. They're easy to actually find. And they're easier to actually find solutions for. So yeah, I mean, I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.